In today's video, I'm drawing Princess Daisy in 8 mysteriously different styles. Here are all the styles that we're going to be working with today, and we're going to shuffle them all up. And then we are going to pick our first one, which is Grayscale. Now, for those of you who do not know what Grayscale is, imagine just taking an image and dulling down the saturation all the way down to all you're going to get is the values, or the shades of gray. That is essentially what is Grayscale. We're going to make this into a very simple, hyper-realistic, or as realistic as we can get to the movie, in black and white. So I'm going to be using 2 sets of pencils to achieve this, a 2H pencil and a 2B pencil. Yeah, I could push the values a little bit more. I could use some black color pencils or black pastel pencils or even some black markers, but I just decided to keep the smooth transitions as easy as possible by using the 2H and the 2B pencil. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is James and I love transforming all of these different characters in fun and exciting new ways. And if you'd like to see your favorite characters transformed in fun, new, exciting ways, then please do me a favor, smash that like and subscribe button so you never miss out on another video. Now, to really achieve these smooth and crisp blends, I'm using the blending stump here. And basically what that's going to do is push the graphite down through the paper, and it basically acts like a brush where we can brush the textures across, and it gets these nice, smooth transitions. But next, we have cotton candy. The cotton candy effect looked so good on Princess Rosalina and Princess Peach that I had to bring it back a third time for Princess Daisy. But I'm going to be doing a little bit different approach with this particular cotton candy effect in that I'm going to layer down a base layer across the whole thing and then add other values across the top. By just having fun with all the different tones of pinks and purples and fuchsias and greens, that's what kind of gives it that cotton candy color. We can give it that soft, wispy nature that is very reflective in cotton candy. That's basically what we're trying to achieve with this particular style. Keep all the shadows and values the same, but give it like a light wispiness, also using those soft pastel colors. And for our third effect that we have today, we have the gummy bear style. Again, this was a really popular style, so I wanted to bring it back a third time, and I was kind of happy that I got it because it's a very unique color palette with Daisy, and I think it just works incredibly well with her to have this nice, bright, vivid orange as a gummy bear section. And what we're trying to do with the gummy bear effect is basically keep it very minimal with the shading, but we want to produce the roundness of the character and the soft highlights that come with any kind of gummy bear texture. So it's not necessarily metallic because we want it to be soft and translucent. That's why I didn't go with a paint pen. We use alcohol markers because they're very translucent and they layer very well. They have that cool opacity that basically makes it look like almost translucent. If you want to try this effect out for yourself, I highly recommend that you do focus on your edges and making sure that they are dark, so that makes it look like it's really indented to give it that 3-dimensional round shape and feature. And for the fourth style, we have X-Ray, and this is the classic X-Ray. So we're going to go with a really simple cartoon color palette and then throw the X-Ray over the top. And it's kind of why I don't, in these 8 mysterious styles, do a cartoon effect, because it's just simple base coloring. Unless I'm transforming into a very specific cartoon like The Simpsons or Family Guy, I'm not really doing that here, so we're just going to go with a simple cartoon color palette and then pop the X-Ray over the top. Very important to make sure that all of your paint pens thoroughly dry before you do another layer over the top. So with all these layers that you're seeing, I waited a good 10 to 15 minutes for the paint to really dry and cure so that they layer easy on top when you do all the details next. And for this next one, we have Void. And for those of you who are not familiar with Void or what this might be, it is my homage to Japanese manga artist Junji Ito and his amazing, incredibly horrific style of drawings that just make you feel like you're pulled into this nightmare realm. His fantasy spirals are just something that are so surreal and incredible and horror without actually having to show gore because it's in black and white. His artwork is breathtaking, and this is what to me truly is a Void and the Void style. So seeing it going forward, let me know if you want to see more of it or less of it.
Let the drum beats go, play this.
But now, we are going to continue on with the Radioactive style. Again, the Radioactive style was a really cool technique that we did in a previous video, and I was happy that we got it again because we got it with one Disney princess. Yes, I said Disney princess. We got it with one Mario princess, so now we're going to bring it back to another Mario princess, and it's basically to have this ghoulification look, almost like what you'd see in the Fallout series, but just a zombie ghoul that's been so crisped with radiation that they've tainted their skin color green, like from an old 1950s sci-fi movie. And I actually like this kind of effect because it's not just changing the color, but it's also changing textures. You're not just making it values, you're also making it seem like, how do we take it and transmorgify it into a little bit of a different, creepier way and creepier textures. Second from the last, we have the realistic. And I was really hoping to get a realistic style at some point because it's been kind of hit and miss. Of all the styles that I put in, I don't put every one of like the 30 or 40 or 50 styles that I have. I try to keep it to about 20 because otherwise I feel like you might never get some of the styles that I really want. And I was actually happy to get realism and showcase a really cool realistic drawing. Normally when you see my realism, I kind of go into detail about all the little subtlety things that I do, and we will do that here. I will say this little section took about half of what the entirety of the rest of the piece took. So this little section took me about 45 minutes to an hour. I was able to crank out 3 of the other sections in about 45 minutes. It just shows you the amount of time that realism takes. It is that much of a stretch. You have to think about so many different things: colors, textures, values, line work, line weight, etc. These aren't just things you take for granted, because if you do, then the piece can fall apart very quickly. We want to always think about values and shades and colors and how they interplay with each other. That's why a lot of times I have test strips of paper off the side and I'm testing how the colors will interact with each other, even with color pencils, so I don't screw up. So I hope that's a really good tip for everyone at home. If you're struggling with realism, do often work with little scrap pieces of paper off to the side just to see how the color pencils and the alcohol markers and the paint pens will work with each other layered on top of each other. The best art tip I can always give is never waste good paper on a mistake. If you're going to know you're going to make a mistake and you're unsure, that's what scrap paper is always for. It's the best thing in the world. Normally I am not a fan of how any kind of hair designs that I do look, but I was actually very satisfied with Princess Daisy, especially the crown work, because it feels like it doesn't just sit on her head, it feels like it sinks into the hair and becomes one single unit. A lot of times when I put hats and things like that, it feels like it's just floating anomalously on top of the head, and I just don't like that. But this one, I was actually pretty satisfied with how the overall design came out. And for our last and final piece, we have the cracked effect. And what is the cracked effect? Well, this is the design that I came up with, and basically what we wanted to make it look like is Princess Daisy has been cracked. Like she's a piece of marble relief stone, but has been smashed away, and we kind of see through behind the character. And essentially what it is, you're going to color it to as best or as least as your heart desires. And that is the cool thing about this effect that I've said in numerous videos. You can make it cartoony, or you can make it hyper realistic. That is quintessentially what I want for any style that I like to come up with. You can do as much or as little as you want. For here, I'm going with a semi-realistic blending, but when we add all our nice little cracks in, and then we add a little bit of highlights and shadows and all these little textures in between, it's going to make it just pop all that more. And again, for the little spiderweb cracks, you can add as many or as little as you'd like. And we are just about out of time with this drawing. I want to say thank you all again so much for stopping by. If you like this, please do me a favor, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what your favorite style is, and I shall see you all in the next video.